it is said like there are only two countries in the world where you have MRP system,
Oh,
which is India and Bangladesh.
hi all. Welcome to the Strategic Pulse. I'm your host Sudarshan Praveen. Today we have another incredible guest, Mr. Vishal Bhatia. He is a qualified chef and also an entrepreneur. He got his qualification from New Zealand and eventually had his hands-on work experience in New Zealand, UAE, India before starting his own venture. He has over 15 years of work ex and he's here to join us and share his inspiring journey. I'm sure it will inspire all of us. Hi Vishal, thank you for joining us.
Hi Sudarshan, thank you for calling me on the show.
So Vishal, can you walk us through your professional journey?
Yeah, sure. So this all started more than 15 years back. Since 15 years, I'm into a business. But before that, I have my hands-on experience of being a chef. I did my graduation from New Zealand with the Culinary graduation. And I took my work experience out there. I also, before that, I took some work experience in India. I was with Le Meridian, which is now Hilton at the airport. So that is where it all started with. Went to New Zealand, I studied. Then I worked with the Sheraton Group in Auckland. After that, I also did some part-time jobs. That I worked a lot with the QSR sector out there and learned the QSR market, which wasn't available, not so big in Indian market. The QSR market in India was only the street food, and the Western side, the street food was totally different. So this was the difference which I learned. Then I came back to India. I tried some other venture. It didn't work out. So I set up a masala factory, which didn't work out. Gradually, I said, okay, let me try out the QSR sector in India. I started working in a QSR joint in India as well. After that, I got a good opportunity. I went to Dubai. In Dubai, it was a totally different game. Since so long, I was into the culinary side and the kitchen side. Here, I was into totally different of sales and marketing. I was with a renowned group of hotel chain in Dubai, and I was into the sales and marketing. That is where I learned the business tricks and the know-how of the business, how it works. And after that, being there for a couple of years, I shifted back to India. I did my recce, I saw everything. The QSR market was still developing. That is when I started my QSR business. And then it goes on from QSR. Then slowly, couple of years back, around 3 to 4 years back, I got into the retail business, where I got into the retail business of dry fruits, mithais and sweets and namkeen and all these products.
Okay. What was the experience like working at these five-star hotels?
Experience was good. Working at the 5-star hotels, working at the 3-star hotels, 4-star hotels, and QSR. Everywhere you just get to learn something new. So it was totally different of working in a kitchen, working at a QSR kitchen, working at a 5-star kitchen. Everything is totally different, and it teaches you.
Right. So what inspired you to transition from being a chef to starting your own venture?
See, I'm a Gujarati, yeah.
Right.
And eventually we think all about is the business.
Right.
So yeah, that is what was my plan since beginning, that whenever, whatever I do, I'll get into a business.
Okay.
And so that was the plan. I had to get into the business, though not into the family business, but yes, something of my own.
Okay. And like you mentioned, initially you had started a couple of brands which probably didn't work out. Would you like to share the any learning experience from that and what challenges did you face?
A lot. So see, initially when I started, my first venture was a masala company. It didn't work out at all. And yeah, we made a big loss in that. And that was something, a very big learning thing for me. I was hardly 21 years old at that time.
Okay.
I didn't know rules and regulation, what were in India. I didn't know the business in India. And me coming from a pretty good background in the industry, learning everything, something which is really good quality. And I actually started thinking more about the quality and not about the price. That was my biggest failure part, to deliver the high quality standards. at a higher price, which made me understand that is not what market wants. Market wants good quality at a good price. That is what I learned it at my that venture.
Okay. Like when you were initially starting out, did you face any doubts or challenges in your mind when you were just venturing out into the entrepreneurship world?
Yeah, a lot, because everything is quite rosy outside the business market.
Right.
You think, yeah, it is easy, मैं ये करूँगा, एक बार में हो जाएगा, दो बार में हो जाएगा, and I'll make millions out of it. It is not like that. Till the time you don't slog, till the time you don't give your time to it, till the time you don't put efforts into it, nothing is going to happen. You will have to do everything to turn it around.
Okay. What's your favorite dish which you would like to cook when you're not working?
Uh, if nothing to do, then I would love to cook a biryani.
Biryani. Okay.
I love that.
Okay. And say you had to start your journey all over again, would you choose the same path you're on, or would you choose a different path? And please give a
I will
reason for
choose
the
the
same.
same industry.
Okay.
Path would be same, but yeah, there would be a lot of changes into it. I will try to rectify what all mistakes I did before, and that can be actually leading me to some other path also.
Could you share some mistakes to our viewers as well so that they can learn from it and what to avoid as a starter?
See, as a starter, what you want to do, what are you into, whatever industry you are into, you are supposed to know each and everything from the basic. You don't have to be shy in doing anything. Just do it. झाड़ू मारना पड़ा, झाड़ू मार लो. कहीं पे सीखने के लिए घुटनों पे बैठना पड़ा है, घुटनों पे बैठो. But learn. Till the time you don't know the basics about it, you can't do it.
Like, okay, could you give a few prerequisites, say for an aspiring food entrepreneur? What would be the few
Food
prerequisites?
entrepreneur, see, if you are getting into a QSR business, yes, I can give you a lots and lots of tips. When I started my QSR business, that was in 2009. And we started with a brand called as Big Sandwich Company.
Right.
This brand, we started, this wasn't even a QSR at that time. We actually started with a Thela kind of a thing, which was a trial run thing. We started it at outside a supermarket with a small kiosk. And touchwood, we did very well. Within 6 months, we said, okay, at the time that we should be getting into a shop and we cannot be outside a supermarket. And that is when we learned a lot of things. When you get into a proper business, you need to know what is the legal requirement for each and everything.
Okay.
And that helped me out a lot. Initially, yeah, we started at सोच के कि क्या है, मैं तो खाली business कर रहा हूँ. But there are legal things, licenses, this, that, everything which comes into it.
Right.
We learned it. And eventually, that has paid us back off.
Okay. I believe you are currently focusing on the brand Hirlo Foods, which you are
Yes.
leading as of now. Would you like to share how that experience is going?
Wonderful. Wonderful. So Hello Foods is all about a retail store that we are running in Andheri. And this is, we are into dry fruits, mithais, namkeens. We also have a chart counter out there.
Okay.
So I cannot leave that little bit of culinary thing also out of me. I need that. And this business has also taught me a lot of stuff. Like QSR business was totally different than this, though both are food ventures. Out here, we have to go with the season. I cannot think of selling something out of the season. We have to be like currently we are looking forward to have Makar Sankranti coming in. So we are stocked up and with all the til laddus and all the winter items whichever is required. You cannot come up in the month of June and say I'm selling til laddus and go and take it.
Right.
So that is what I have learned in this business, that you are supposed to be prepared with right thing at right time.
Okay.
Whereas QSR is totally different. You sell the same menu any time of the year and it works.
So what things did you do rightly in Hirlo Foods compared to your, like, say, previous brands and say Big Sandwich Company? What were the challenges? What were the mistakes which you would,
Oh, a lot of them. It is, I have matured up a lot from before. So things were like, first of all, as I said, we started our business with entirely each and every licenses in place,
Okay.
each and every legal requirement in place.
Okay.
So that was one very big thing. Investments were done properly. When I was a 21-year-old kid, I didn't know where to invest and how to invest. पैसा आया, ओके, चलो मेरे को इतना इन्वेस्ट करने का है, आई जस्ट इसमें इतना इन्वेस्ट कर दिया, आई डिडंट मेक अ प्रॉपर शीट आउट ऑफ इट, एंड देन वी वर रनिंग आउट ऑफ कैश एंड ऑल. But now it is properly designed, properly structured. Okay, this much amount has to go into this much amount has to go into the other things. Material इतने का आना चाहिए, ये इतने का आना चाहिए, and that is how we have planned everything. And marketing plays a big role in it.
Okay. So, what is the most effective strategy for one person to scale their business in the food industry?
QSR or
Yeah, you
retail?
can start with QSR, then retail food outlets.
QSR, you need to know your targeted client.
Okay.
Your location plays a very big role.
Okay.
With your location plays your menu. If you have a location which is a corporate area location, think about the food that corporates would prefer to have it, rather than just selling anything at anywhere. If you are at an amusement park and if you try to sell traditional food, it won't work. There you have to think about food which is kid friendly and something which is handy.
Okay.
Whereas if you're in a corporate zone, you would think something easy to go kind of a thing, because in office areas you have a small lunch break, the price sensitivity. So you have to think about that. That is what your thing, you have to pre-plan it. And your menu has to go in such a way where, each and everything should be usable.
Okay.
If you are using something, an ingredient like mayonnaise, if you're using a mayonnaise in your burger, the same mayonnaise where else you can use, you have to think about it, because otherwise your inventory management won't be proper. And if your inventory management is not proper, things are going to be very expensive for you.
Okay.
The costing won't work out.
Okay.
So that is something you will have to work out on QSR business.
Okay. What about the retail outlets?
Retail outlets. See, retail outlet, again, as I said, location plays a very important role. So as our location in Andheri, which is the corporate zone, though we have a big residential area, but we majorly cater to the corporate zone. And we have sweets, we sell sweets, but we don't sell all the varieties of sweets, because I have to look into it, the shelf life of the product, and I need to keep it, and I need to sell fresh every day. So if I'm not able to sell it, I have to chuck it away. When I chuck it away, that's a loss to me.
Right.
So all these things keeping in mind, we have to plan our thing. Again, where we sell namkeens. So namkeens are something which is, again, as I said, now we are into corporate zone. I cannot think of only selling Gujarati namkeens out there, because it's a cosmopolitan crowd.
Right.
So I'll have to think about it where I have something which can cater to all part of India. So maybe a South Indian client is coming, or a North Indian client is coming, or a Gujarati client is coming, or a Bengali client is coming. Something that they would like to have it.
Okay.
So that is one of the thing. Other thing is, dry fruits, which goes anywhere and everywhere.
Okay.
So we pick one of the best qualities only.
Okay.
What I have learned it from my seniors, that never compromise on the quality, and we only sell superior quality dry fruits. They won't be cheap.
Okay.
Maybe you can go to some Tom, Dick and Harry store and you can find a cheaper ones, but then the quality won't match.
Okay.
So we only sell superior quality, and we try to match the prices as good as possible, but the quality we won't ever compromise.
Since you mentioned that the location is very important, how does one choose the right location?
You can either choose the right location with your menu. If you have a menu in hand, then choose the location accordingly, or else with the location you choose the menu.
Okay.
So you have to think about the footfall. first. If you are in a location where you have a high footfall, see, I have had QSR outlets in all different kind of locations. To start with, we started it in JB Nagar, Andheri East. That was again a very good footfall place. Then we thought of Shere Punjab area in Andheri East, which was close to Dominic Savio Canossa School, Tolani College, and all, thinking of that clientele. So that was because we were into QSR, and the QSR young kids would prefer to eat like sandwiches, burgers, and rolls and all. So that is how we selected our locations. We were also in Powai at Hakon Gaming Zone, and the menu actually went very well with that. We had at Carter Road also. Then we were inside Thakur College, Kandivali.
Right.
We have had our outlet even next to Parle College, Sate College in Ville Parle. So yeah, we have had it. We have always selected the location thinking in mind of our menu. So also our menu was something which a college student and a corporate would love it. But at that time, I'm talking about 15 years back, the thinking was different. Nowadays, everyone wants to go and eat sandwich. कुछ नहीं तो चलो मिठी बाई पे sandwich खा के आते हैं.
Right.
Grill sandwich. 15 years back, it was like your father would say, I don't want to have sandwich. I would prefer to go and have some dal makhani and roti rather than spending so much on a sandwich.
Right.
Now it is like you go anywhere and eat everything. And especially when the best part is going to the food court, where the father gets his dal makhani and roti, you get your sandwiches, and someone else would get something else, and everyone has their own happy meal.
Right. So in your retail store outlets, how do you enhance the customer satisfaction and experience?
See, what I have seen it with some big retail outlets and all, which has helped me in learning something. This was at one of the stores where I had been, and I wanted to buy something. They didn't have that stuff. So I inquired, as normally we inquire that at the counter if things falana cheez hai ki nahi. And the staff easily said nahi hai. But the owner was there and he said, what do you want? I said, I want so and so thing. And this wasn't in India, this was in some other country.
Okay.
An Indian store. And this guy said, I'm giving you this chit. Write your contact number, write your product, what you want, and write your name. Once we procure it, we'll get in touch with you. And within 3 days, I got a call from this guy saying, sir, you were looking out for this. I said, yes. I'm calling from so-and-so store and it is available now.
Okay.
And that was something as a customer satisfaction thing. So if I don't have it available, I need to get it available.
Okay.
If someone wants something, we have to have it.
Okay.
Then the customer is satisfied and he's going to be your customer forever.
Okay. And how do you prioritize the location? Do you keep it in like underserved areas, or I think from our conversation we realized in high traffic areas is what you would prefer?
I prefer high traffic areas.
High traffic areas.
That is what is something I believe everyone would prefer to have it. High traffic areas.
Okay.
Because see, there is something you are investing a lot of money into it.
Right.
So you want the rolling to be going on from beginning.
Correct.
Rather than putting it in some gully ke andar and corner and all, and then spending a lot more on marketing, which is a very important thing, but spending too much on marketing and then having the customers coming in.
Right.
So it's better to be in a good footfall area.
Okay. And what role has quick commerce and e-commerce influenced in your physical retail outlets?
Influenced? They have eaten up our business a lot.
Okay.
I don't know why they are burning the money, but yeah, they are burning the money and they are eating up our business.
Okay.
They are not influencing our business.
Like, do you think the models which they presently have is sustainable over the long run?
They have fundings.
Right.
These fundings are not there by themselves. No?
Right.
It's जनता का पैसा. or the investor ka paisa.
Right.
When they have the IPO, then it is janta ka paisa.
Right.
So they don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
A person like us will have to worry about it because we put in our own money.
Right.
So yeah, if what I have heard from couple of industry people is like majority of them are Gujaratis and Kachis in this industry. Let me
Okay.
tell you that also.
Wow.
And so I was chatting with a lot of these guys, and they said what business they used to do it in 80s, 90s, and early 2000 was totally different than what they are doing it now. Still, they have good business, but they said like what business they used to do at that time, it is almost half of that what they are doing it now,
Oh.
volume wise.
Okay.
Why? Because the quick commerce people have eaten up a lot of business.
Okay. What role do local suppliers and sourcing partners play in choosing the location?
Very important role. If you have a good location, easily accessible location, where may it be QSR business, may it be retail business, or any other business what you are into. If you are into a location where it is easily accessible, whatever you need, whenever you need, you can get it.
Okay.
Whereas if you are in some remote area, का supplier भी बोलेगा सर 2 दिन बाद गाड़ी आने वाली है तभी ले लेना. And if you are in a good location, सर गाड़ी पास होने वाली है वहाँ से ही मैं डलवा देता हूँ, आप उसका पेमेंट करवा देना खाली.
Okay.
So that is the thing.
Okay.
Completely changes. And when if the गाड़ी पास नहीं होने वाली है, you'll say सर पास में ही है, बंदे को बाइक पे भेज के मंगवा लो आप.
Okay.
So, as I said before also, customer satisfaction should be there. If I get it delivered to a customer quickly, he'll be much more happier. If he didn't get it at my store, I'll get it arranged.
Okay.
And as I said, we are located in the corporate area. So suddenly these corporates come up. अरे मेरे को 1000 पीस दे दे मिल्क चॉकलेट का चाहिए. I'm not going to pick a 1000 piece and keep it in my store.
Right.
So my distributor is nearby. I'll either call him up. Is it possible to send it? So it happened during the Diwali time, and this customer wanted some particular chocolate from Cadbury's, and he was like, "I want 1,000 pieces." So we called up the distributor. He said, "Yeah, stock is available, but you'll have to come and collect it." And we were like, "Okay, I'll send across someone to collect it." We actually asked one of our staff went there. He bought the stock. He went to the office, to the customer's office, and the customer said, "Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm not at my office. We are at the Taj, Land's End. You'll have to send it there."
Okay.
Yeah, just because it was 1,000 pieces and we had already taken it, we asked that guy, "Okay, jaake delivery karke aao."
Okay. What do you think? What leadership quality should a new person have entering into the food and retail business?
Leadership quality. When you say leadership quality, I would say it is not only leadership quality, it is the nature of the person. He has to be learning nature person. So you can learn it from your staff as well. You can learn it from everyone. It is not only your seniors who are going to teach you, even your juniors teach you.
Okay.
That is something very much important. And when I say leadership quality, which comes out of the experience, would be you have to designate the right job to a right person.
Okay.
You cannot ask someone to be your cashier who has no knowledge about being a cashier. फिर वो पैसा कम लेगा और फिर प्रॉब्लम होएगा आपको.
Right.
So that is something important. You cannot have someone standing at the chart counter having no knowledge about it.
Okay.
So that is something which is very much important. You will have to designate right job to a right person.
Okay. And the retail business is highly competitive. How does one stay ahead of the curve?
It is competitive. So these days it has totally changed, which is a good thing. Social media platforms help you out a lot in that,
Okay.
where you don't have to visit the store to see कि मेरे competitor के पास क्या ऐसा नया available है. The competitor puts it on the social media platform that we
Okay.
have this. Then either you take it from somewhere, you get it made, you get the things done. So it helps you out a lot. And either sometimes you have something new which no one else has it. So yeah, that is how you go ahead.
Okay. Basically saying, how do you tackle the healthy options, gluten-free options, somebody even opting for vegan-based?
Yeah, so we have options for that. So like it comes like, okay, you're from South. South ka Madras mixed chivda is very famous. Mangalore mixed chivda is very famous. If you want to have something healthy, but you want to have something to nibble around, what would you do? So we have come up with roasted jawar chivda. We have come up with millet mixes, roasted millet mixes with good amount of nice spicy stuff and all. We have come up with a lot of roasted products and a lot of healthy products. So still the market is pretty small for it, but there is a market.
Okay.
That can be the future.
Okay.
Maybe your Chef Bhatia can go in the smaller section later on, and these products will be in the higher section.
Okay.
Same thing comes into the chocolates also. Protein bars were quite popular. They are still quite popular. At the same point, we have something in our mithai section where we have khajur bites and anjeer bites. Khajur bite is totally sugar free. There's no sugar, so these are dates, dry fruits, and pure ghee. And we make a burfi kind of a thing out of it. We get it done. And these are sold at the counter. You can even either buy a single piece or you can buy a pack of it or something of that sort. Rather than spending 75% on those products where you have added sugar or added flavor or some artificial thing into it, we recommend our customers to go for something which is totally natural. Go for it. And we have seen a lot of changes. People are going for it. First of all, if you have one of this in the morning or any time of the day, a small cube of it is pretty satisfying.
Right.
Much more better than your protein bars.
Wow. Interesting. What kind of margins do retail food stores have, and how does one maintain those margins by also, being profitable and also having good quality products?
Depends now what product they are selling.
Okay.
If you're selling all branded products and nothing from your own brand, margins vary a lot. There are brands which are very high in demand. They give you very low margin. You can say margin of 4 to 7% also in that.
This is gross margin or
This is the net margin.
net margin? Okay.
So they give you just 4 to 7%. There are big brands who give you that,
Okay.
or 9 to 10% also. Other brands which are not so popular kind of a thing, they'll cash out somewhere between 25 to 30% margin. Not so popular also, they are quite popular,
Okay.
but their products are different.
Okay.
So something dairy related brands which I would say where you have ghee, cheese and all these products, very low margin. Prominent coffee selling brand and all, very low margin. Chocolates, the branded chocolates which we have, which are quite popular, again low margin. At the same time, if you are selling namkeen, they give you pretty decent margin, starting from 20 to 25 to 30%, the branded ones. And if you're repacking it and all, if you're getting it made for yourself and getting it repacked and all, you need a special license for that. And you need all the proper procedure for it. And that product, you have your own MRP then.
Okay.
You decide when you decide your own MRP, you decide your own margin.
But considering all these products at a retail outlet, they would be selling a variety of all these products, right? So at a retail level, what can be the margins which
See, that is what I said.
owner can expect?
First of all, let me clarify one more thing.
Yeah.
I just said like there are only 2 countries in the world where you have MRP system,
Oh.
which is India and Bangladesh. All the other countries, there is no MRP. You buy it, you sell it.
Okay.
So all the other countries, you have hypermarts, you have supermarts, you have mega marts, you have dairy stores, you have small shops, and each and every place would be having a different price range. So the thing happens like in these countries where there's no MRP, a bottle of water, you can consider one of the bottle of water that you have it,
Yeah.
a bottle of water which you get it at the big store, hypermart kind of a thing, for 50 cents, the same bottle of water would be available at a smaller store which is close to your house in your locality for $1.
Okay.
So that person is playing on the price margin. Hypermart is playing on the volume margin. So that is the difference. Whereas in India, on these products, you don't decide your margin. The company manufacturer decides your margin.
Okay.
And the MRP thing actually got into the Indian market in late 80s or mid 80s or something. Before that, even India didn't have MRP products.
Okay.
And now it has got into us in such a way it's difficult to remove it also.
And what is the cost of setting up a retail food outlet? And can you share the various expenses
Retail food
involved?
outlet, when you say, are you talking about the retail store or the QSR?
Retail store.
Retail store. Retail store would highly depend on what all products you are looking up to sell. Like if you are looking up to sell namkeen farsans and all, in 2 to 3 lakh rupees, you can set up your entire store with the products, and another 2 to 3 lakh, 4 lakhs in the interiors and all, of 5 lakhs approximately, that much. But it's only namkeen store where you can have all the kind of namkeen, and that's a big thing. You know, in 2 lakh rupees तो आपका पूरा स्टोर भर जाएगा, आपका रखने का जगह नहीं रहेगा, उतना माल आएगा. But at the same time, if you're selling chocolates, 15-20 हज़ार का चॉकलेट हम लोग के पास आता है, देखते हैं तो बस सिर्फ इतना ही माल आया है.
Okay.
Those are expensive products.
And similarly, for a QSR, what would be the amount? Cost of setting it up?
QSR, leaving your rent and deposit and all aside, that would totally depend upon the location. A person can set it up in 4 to 5 lakh rupees, the equipments and everything. And see, the person has to be good with his inventory management. So if he has a raw material and all properly managed, he planned his menu properly, then he is a winner.
Okay. Would you suggest any benchmark of how much percentage of revenue should go to, say, operational expenses, to food cost, to labor?
See, a pretty good calculation in QSR market, I would say, you would have to think about your rental part below 10%.
Okay.
And same thing would be your 10 to 12% for your labor expense. Approximately 20% should be your food cost.
Okay.
And then there are certain other operational costs and all.
So, say around 50% goes in
At least 50%.
50%. Okay. And like from the balance 50%, like, are you saying that the net margins will be around 50%?
So you have a statutory requirements, taxes
Okay.
and all. You have to pay that.
Right.
You have to, from that balance 50%, you have to remove some part for that. There are certain expenses which are unavoidable or which suddenly comes in. You have to plan that out.
Okay.
And yeah, you can make healthy business if you have your initial rental margins and all getting below 10%.
Okay. Right. And I think borrowing cost also something which is a trouble for a lot of
Borrowing cost now depends on what scale you're doing your business. You're looking forward to it. Starting with a single QSR, you can think of starting it by yourself rather than borrowing money,
Right.
so that you don't have to give it to anyone.
And typically, how long does it take for these QSRs to break even, and even say for a retail food outlet and being profitable?
QSR, see, anything with retail, so QSR or retail food outlet, anything where you have in cash coming in every day. To understand the calculations where you stand, I would say it would take at least around 12 to 18 months to understand where you stand.
Okay.
And after 12 to 18 months, you'll come to know whether you are actually into red or green.
Okay.
Till that time, you have to keep on either getting in money, because you get money, keep on getting money every day inside the business.
Right.
You have expenses going on every day.
Right.
So you don't understand exactly within a year or 8 months or 10 months where do you stand, because you think पैसा तो आ रहा है ना,
Hmm.
पैसा जा भी रहा है, पैसा आ भी रहा है. 12 to 18 months down the line, you come to understand whether you are in red or green.
Okay.
And then if you are into red, you have to either think about, should I be running it, should I be shutting it, or should I be rectifying something which I have done wrong.
Okay. Have you ever faced a situation where, like you said, profit seems elusive, and have you turned things around?
Yeah, there have been times when I have turned things around, it has worked out. There have been times where we were forced to shut down.
Would you like to share both the experiences?
Yeah, sure. So I would like to say, uh, we had a pure veg outlet. This was named as Local Adda,
Right.
which was in Powai. It was a pure veg outlet. We were doing well, and then suddenly COVID got into it. We were still like, okay, sab band hai, kya karne ko? We were sitting, we were fine. When things started and we started our outlet, we saw one of our neighbor had shut down his outlet. So we considered that as an opportunity. We started selling burgers. And then we realized, are we into a wrong business? Because we are not selling enough burgers now, as our neighbors used to sell. The reason was because they used to do non-veg and we were not doing non-veg. And then we thought of getting into the non-vegetarian burgers. And for that, we changed the entire menu. We took it as per the client's requirement. Yeah, again, it helped us out, and we were back into the business. And at the time, we were selling big number of burgers every year. I'm selling more than 35,000 burgers every year. That was a big thing. And that actually helped us in changing our entire menu.
Right. This is one of the examples where you turn things around. But also, would you like to share an experience where you have to say shutting down an outlet?
Yeah. So when we were new into the business, and as I said, majority of our outlets were near to educational institution, so maybe a college or something. So one of our outlet, which was in Valai Parle, it was doing very well, but then the summer vacation started, and those 2 to 3 months were so difficult that we had to eventually shut down our outlet because the situation was not in our favor, and the losses for this 2 to 3 months was like big thing. So I would say where we were doing initially with 10 to 12,000 or 15,000 per day, the same thing business had come down to 500 to 700 rupees per day,
Okay.
which actually eventually forced us to shut down the outlet. So yeah, it has helped us out a lot that we don't have to look at only one part in the business. We have to explore a lot of things. Initially, we thought as a college है तो फिर हमेशा चलेगा, but no, it is not like that.
Say for a new entrepreneur who's venturing into the food business, is trying his or her way out, and like for them as well, profit seems elusive. They are burning money. What is the time limit where they have to say that they have to put like a stop loss to their business and say probably shut it instead of venturing or figuring out a way to sustain it?
See, if the person is into losses, even after 12 to 18 months,
Right.
they have figured it out that there's no way where they can do a profit out of it, then the immediate decision is better decision. If they try to, khichofy it, it won't happen.
Okay.
Maybe they'll be getting deeper and deeper into it. They'll start borrowing funds from outside. When you borrow funds from outside, you also have to pay the loan amount,
Right.
interest, everything. You actually get much more deeper into it. It's like a daldal. एक बार आदमी अंदर गया फिर घुसते जाएगा. So it's better you take the decision as soon as possible, Before that, you can just go to your mentor, you can ask what to do, you can take suggestions from 8 to 10 people, but eventually you have to think about it, what is right and what is wrong.
Right. How has delivery food aggregators and delivery partners impacted the margins?
A lot, a lot. So we are into business since food aggregators got into the business. Initial days were totally different, where food aggregators were with 0% margin, zero delivery charge, zero things. And oh, we were doing fantabulous business at that time. That was the most glamorous period for QSR business or the restaurant business. In fact, all the restaurants were not ready to get into that delivery business. They said, we have our own delivery setup. We don't want third party.
Right.
We don't trust them. Newbie, someone like us, we were looking into it. Like, अरे good यार, मेरा delivery का खर्चा बच रहा है, ये free में delivery कर रहा है, free में marketing कर रहा है, everywhere our name is there, and we did fantabulous business at that time. But later on, things started changing. Till the time they were taking 5 to 7% margin, up to 10% margin, I would say it is good. Then slowly the margin started going high, and higher, where it is not feasible. In fact, there have been times where the staff from delivery aggregators, the guy who come to do a sign up deal with you, they'll come and tell you, sir, online पे रेट बढ़ा के रख दो, चलेगा आपका margin. That doesn't work out. When you are paying 25 to 32% margin or 35% margin, you cannot put up the prices so high. And at the same time, so recently, there was a delivery aggregator who came to me and they wanted us to sign a deal where they said it will be only 15% of the margin. We were like, 15%, we can think over it, how to go. Later on, he said, so 15% plus 15 to 20 rupees something, I don't remember the exact figure, but 15 to 20 rupees per kilometer delivery charge, which I'll have to bear. So it didn't seem fair to me. Yeah, delivery aggregators are charging me, they'll be also charging the customer for that delivery fee, surcharge and everything. So it is delivery aggregator who's only making money. Even we'll be sinking in, even the customer sink in. At the end, customer thinks कि सारा का सारा पैसा restaurant वाला लेता है, and the thing is not like that. So there was a long back, I had posted something where with a delivery aggregator, we had done business of around 25,000 rupees
Okay.
for that week. And when we got the payment in our account was hardly around 5 to 7,000 rupees.
Oh.
Yes. And there was this charge, that charge, falana charge, many charges which were put onto it. So eventually I just posted about it, and then someone from the media who came to know about it, they approached us, they interviewed us, they put it in their newspaper also, entire thing. And suddenly the delivery aggregator also came to know about this thing. He approached us and he actually they asked us to remove the article.
Oh.
And yeah, we didn't do that part. But yeah, delivery aggregators are not always good for you. They are taking away a lot of things from you.
Nowadays, a lot of budding entrepreneurs have this business idea where they either start a cloud kitchen or a QSR, and they mainly rely on delivery aggregators to run their business. Would you advise a newbie to go about this way?
If you know the maths about your business, go for it. They are not bad. Delivery aggregators are not bad because they have the best reach. But you should be knowing your maths properly for the business.
What are the various financial metrics one should look at before venturing into the retail business?
For retail business, volume is the key to it.
Okay.
Because you don't have higher margins. So volume is the total key to it. Second thing, you have to go around with the season. You cannot keep on selling plum cakes in the month of May and you cannot think of selling armrests in the month of December.
Right.
So you have to think, sell right thing at the right time.
Right time. And say when someone is starting out and they have limited funds, where should they spend to maximize their business impact? Like say advertising.
See, if
Hmm.
you have set up the entire business, everything has been done, you have limited funds left with you, or if it is said there is a surplus fund left with you to put in, I would say marketing would be a very key role.
Okay.
Once you are set up with everything, you're set up with your kitchen, you're set up with your delivery setup, you're set up with everything. So marketing, technology is another thing which I would say where you need to, where you have a proper POS system, the billing system, inventory control management, everything is set up, then get into marketing.
Any specific type of marketing?
It depends upon your menu. But social media plays the biggest role.
Okay. And say if somebody is starting out and they have say 10 lakhs to start with, where should they invest to maximize their business impact?
See, 10 lakh is not a small amount, but 10 lakh is not a big amount also.
Okay.
So if you are starting it from the scratch, 10 lakhs is a big amount. Because in 10 lakhs, what all you can do? 10 lakhs will go, you will be paying a hefty deposit first of all. There'll be a good amount of rent. You'll have to consider 6 months ka rent initially.
Right.
So at least I would say half of that, around 5 lakh rupees, तो आपका वहीं पे अटक गया.
Okay.
You're left with 5 lakh rupees. So think of a business. Don't think of a very fancy one, but think of a business which will help you out. For me, currently, if I would get a chance, I would love to get into the vada pav misal pav business,
Okay.
and that's a quite profitable business, and I would love to get into that.
What are the margins in it?
Decent margins, high volumes, location plays a very important role, but pretty decent margin.
Okay. What has been your most successful product and why so?
As I said, burgers which we started did very well for us, but that was from one of our latest ventures, which was Local Adda. Before that, during the Big Sandwich Company days, we came up with all new products. Because 15 years back, if you had a look, the sandwiches which were available were like bread, butter, chutney, aloo, kapri, tomato, pyaj.
Right.
And that was the sandwich.
Right.
Max to max, add cheese to it, grill कर दिया, हो गया आपका grill sandwich तैयार.
Right.
और अगर जो कुछ इंटरनेशनल फ्लेवर में चाहिए तो मेयोनीज डाल के कोल्ड स्लो सैंडविच बोलेंगे, रशियन सैलड सैंडविच बोलेंगे, एंड दैट वाज द थिंग. सो व्हेन आई गॉट इनटू इट, आई सेड यार मेयो सैंडविच ये वो सब कुछ ठीक है, लेट्स कम अप विद सम न्यू फ्लेवर्स. So we started with something where was a Mexican sandwich where we had added chipotle sauce. Chipotle mayonnaise was not available at that time. So we blended the Mexican spices with the mayonnaise and we got into the chipotle sauce. We made that. Then where we started using jalapenos and corn and thinking of what Mexican people would like to eat or what you would get at the Mexican restaurant. We came up with a Mexican sandwich. Then we came up with an Italian flavored sandwich where we had a pizza pasta sauce thing with Italian herbs, olives, and all those products. The stuff that you get it on the pizza got inside the sandwich. And that was a total game changer for us. One such product was also a chocolate sandwich, which we started at 15 years back. We started it on the streets. We used to use pure chocolate and we used to not use compounds. No chocolate spread and neither any chocolate sauce. We used to use pure chocolate and that is how we did it. And that was a hit product.
Okay.
Though it is a little bit weird combination, but that was a super duper hit product.
Okay. How does one manage this creativities of experimentation in the food business with also the financial realities of it?
Creativity into the food business? See, be creative. Don't damage the food. Chocolate sandwich 15 years back was a good thing, something different, this, that, and all. But chocolate and bread has been eaten everywhere since ages. So it wasn't too much bizarre thing, kind of a thing. But yeah, adding cheese to it and pineapples to it and spoiling the food, I would say no, don't do that. That is not creativity. You are killing the food. Keep it
Okay.
simple. Like as I said, we did the Mexican sandwich, so I thought about it like having jalapenos into it, having corn into it, having capsicum into it, which goes basically well.
Right.
When you go to a Mexican restaurant, you go for a Mexican bowl. It will be having jalapenos. It will be having chipotle sauce. There will be onions into it. There will be corn into it. So thinking of all those ingredients and putting it into a sandwich, it is not bad. But thinking something really different, adding pineapple to it, won't justify.
Okay. What does success mean to you now beyond the financial gain?
Uh, Success, if financial gain is something really important.
Of course, yeah.
If I say it is not important, then I'm totally wrong.
Right.
It is important. You can't be successful without having financial gain. But at the same time, once you are successful, mentoring others is a very important thing.
Okay.
What I would say, you have a joy of giving there. From what all you have learned, it is easier for others to learn out of it and they don't do that mistake. So you have a joy of giving there. And that joy of giving, you feel you are successful.
Wow. In fact, my next question for you was that only, like, what role does mentoring play, and do you actively mentor others?
I do. I do mentor others and I have had good mentors as well. So I would like to name one of my faculty, Stephen Cheney. He was my culinary faculty in New Zealand, a very well experienced person. He was um executive chef with a popular hotel chain in New Zealand, retired from there. Then he was a faculty and he was a wonderful person. Or his brother is a wonderful person. It's been more than 25 years I'm out of my school in culinary school and I'm still in touch with them. He helps me out with many things where I am stuck. And even he wants to know something about Indian culinary cuisine or something. He's not ashamed. He'll ask me, I'm stuck here. What should I do? And that is the perfect faculty. So there was a thing where he didn't know that I'm an Indian citizen, and he went out of the way thinking that I am a New Zealand citizen or something, and tried to get me a job in London with a celebrity chef. And I wasn't able to take it because the visas were an issue. And the celebrity chef said, I can give him the job, but I won't arrange the visas for him. But
Okay.
he went out of the way for me and he got me a job with a celebrity chef, one of the most renowned chef in the world, Michelin star chef.
Wow. Okay.
That was my hard luck. I wasn't able to get it.
Okay. How do you maintain consistency in your products?
I look into it every day, whatever it is. Very simple thing, very small thing. As I said, I currently also have a chart counter. Every afternoon, one piece of pani puri, just one piece of pani puri, I'll have it
Okay.
just to see the taste of that pani.
Okay.
So, first of all the charts that we prepare, may it be pani for pani puri, the chutneys, the ragda which is boiled in the water, everything is with the packaged drinking water. No tap water or anything, but the packaged drinking water because I have to look into the safety
Right.
and everything is done as per that. And just to see that everything is normal, everything is right, I will personally taste it. So when you have multiple outlets, it is not that you who was going to go and check it everywhere, but the person responsible of that store, of that place, has to personally taste it and check it.
Okay.
If you can have it, if your family, you can feed your family the thing, then you can sell it to anyone.
Okay, that's nice to know that an owner should get personally involved.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it is not only owners. Even if you have a manager who's handling that store, he
right.
has to be responsible for that.
All in for it. Yeah,
And the only food that you sell it should be the food that you can serve it to your family.
family. Very nice
Otherwise,
line.
don't sell it.
Very nice line. Yeah. So now we can move on to some fun and viral questions. What's a food trend which you think is overrated or underrated?
Which I'd seen a reel where there was someone selling a sandwich where first he had a pineapple jam in it, then he had an ice cream scoop in it, then there was chopped pineapple, then there was cheese added to it, then the entire thing was grilled for a certain extent. Then again on top of that he had shaved ice cream and something. I don't know what all was there.
Okay.
And topped with chocolate chips.
Okay. What is the most bizarre food combination which you have tried and has it worked?
Uh, as I said, chocolate sandwich was something new at that time. It worked very well for us. But yeah, without food combination, uh, one of my in my culinary school, one of my faculty actually got us tasted chili ice cream,
Mm.
which was eventually very good. I wouldn't have thought of trying it anywhere else by paying money, but yeah, it was good. Same thing at the same time, frozen yogurt. It's very good. I
Okay.
tried it in Greece. It was wonderful. Uh, so there are a lot of food products which are good, and yeah, you have to think twice before having it though.
Okay. Oh, what's the one thing which you want the customers to know about the food business?
Or the person running the business.
Customers to know.
Uh, see, customers should know is the person whoever's selling you, whoever's doing this business. Be good to them always.
Okay.
Because if the person who is preparing the food for you, you are good to him, he'll be making it with his soul too. And food is something which is very emotional thing. It absorbs all kind of emotion. When it is said "maa ke haath ka khana,"
Right.
it has all the possible emotions into it. Because your mom is going to make it with all that emotion, the emotions are going into it, and it comes to you. At the same time, the chef is putting in a lot of efforts to put it. If the chef is happy,
Right.
may it be street food or may it be a restaurant or anywhere, if he had done some mistake, I'm not saying don't complain about it. Don't create a fuss out of it.
Right.
अगर जो दाल में नमक ज़्यादा हो गया है तो हो गया है. Complain about it. They will change it for you. You don't need to create that fuss kind of a thing and then you be saying, I'm going to blog about this, I'm going to report about this, I'm going to do that. You know, because of your thing, वो शेफ का भी मूड खराब होगा, सबका मूड खराब होगा, आने वाले कस्टमर्स को वो इमोशन से खाना मिलने वाला है.
Right.
So food, what you eat is all about the emotion you are consuming inside you.
Absolutely.
That is from a chef point of view.
Right.
Yeah.
What's a myth which you would like to burst about the food industry?
The myth about the food industry is that people should know कि अरे ये तो सबसे आसान काम है यार, कुछ नहीं कर सकता है, चल यार फूड बिजनेस में पैसा डाल देते हैं
Right.
या फूड इंडस्ट्री में डाल देते हैं, वो हमेशा प्रॉफिट ही करने वाला है, वो देख कर ही जाएगा, सब लोग खाने आ जाएंगे. But not like that. There's a lot that goes into it and किसी और के कंधे पे बंदूक रख के नहीं चला सकते. You know, there's a lot into it. So food industry is equally important and challenging as any other industry, any other business. You just have to be fully into it. Just you can't think कि मैं पैसा डाल दूंगा, फूड बिजनेस है, यहाँ पर से तो आने ही वाला प्रॉफिट होकर.
Right. That's so true. What's the most weirdest or the most memorable customer request which you have received?
You only remember the good memories. You don't remember the
Bad ones. Right.
So the good memories are always the praising about you or your food or your thing.
Right.
The only thing is, even if I have not made it, but my kitchen staff has made it, the customer will call me and they will, praise me.
Right.
Even they should be getting the credit. But yeah, these are the most memorable things where the customer has actually gone out of the way and asked us, is it possible, I can have it. Yeah, I can take it. I want to travel. So I remember there was one of the customers uh, at when we started our big sandwich company. This guy was a kid. Then he went for further studies to London, and every 2 to 3 months, whenever someone was traveling to London, this kid's mother used to come to me and used to say, मेरे को 2 या 3 chocolate sandwich चाहिए, उसका shelf life भी अच्छा है. I want to send it for my son to London.
Oh, okay.
So, that was something. I mean, we used to like, अरे, और मेरा chocolate sandwich London तक जाता है.
Wow. Okay.
So that was it.
And my last question for you today is, what's the most challenging dish which you have cooked?
Oh yeah, that was in fact even the weirdest dish and even the challenging dish, and I could say the most funniest dish.
Okay.
So this was during my culinary school days in New Zealand. Out of 25 students, we were 3 to 4 Indian students in one class, and we had this magic box kind of a thing. And I picked up a chit, and I had to prepare rabbit. Now rabbit, I said I have never cooked a rabbit. I don't know what to do. क्या करेगा? So I don't know, from somewhere it just struck my mind. People used to tell me I've never eaten rabbit also in my life, and I remember a friend telling me once, rabbit meat is quite similar to chicken. Like, okay, there are goras all around. My faculty are goras, and their most favorite Indian dish is butter chicken.
Okay.
So I cooked the rabbit the same way as we cook the butter chicken.
Okay.
Did it, served it to them with desi roti and everything. They loved it. And then comes the funniest part to it. They asked me the name of the dish. I was like, what should I say? And the moment I named the dish, all the 3 to 4 Indian students, they started laughing. They bursted out.
What was the name?
Khargosh ka gosh.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any other name to it.
Okay.
I cannot say butter rabbit or something.
Right.
Yeah, but that was the name which actually came out from Khargosh ka gosh.
Okay.
And yeah, that was the dish of the day, in fact.
Okay. So this brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you, Vishal, so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being on your show. I'm looking forward to be with you again.
Thank you for watching this episode till the very end. If you found this episode to be valuable and insightful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We would love to hear your thoughts. Please share your takeaway from this episode in the comment section below. If you have any additional idea regarding the questions or the topics which we should ask our future guests, please let us know. If you or someone you know who would be a great fit as a guest in our podcast, please fill the Google form in the description and we shall get in touch. Remember, success takes many forms and we are here to celebrate them all. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of the Strategic Pulse. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as your support will help us grow and bring you more insightful conversations. Thank you.